morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone all over the world, those locally and those in the diaspora, those who are joining us on the Facebook and the YouTube feed. You know, it's the mid-morning program, Final Decision. It's a lovely, lovely morning. Of course, we are here today.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Green?
I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Maitland.
And you know, we are here with you. I am Mark Maitland from the Garden of Paradise Funeral Home, and as per usual,
Errol Green from Exodus Funeral Home.
and today is a big day because we have a bonus green for you today. With us, we have the next generation, Mr. Terrell Green. Welcome, Mr. Green.
Thank you.
Mr. Green, you have to talk to the mic so the people can hear you.
Good morning.
You know why you give it, you know, Mr. Green,
Like I look big, because I get a big voice.
so,
Right?
it's raining and a young Green come out with his sentimental voice. You know? But we're going to have a very good program today. It's good to be here as per usual. Mr. Green, you know what they usually say on a rainy day when you have a funeral? What Jamaicans normally say?
When you're having a funeral, rain or fall.
Yeah.
I didn't hear one of that. I
They
didn't
did
hear.
that cry.
Oh, yes.
So when I came out this morning, I was saying, whoever have been funerals today must be saying, boys, I won't even cry.
Yeah,
And go on.
Sir Mark, where they get those things from? You know, once you go to a funeral and rain start, and you see it? The man a ball, him no one bury.
But that's one of the things that we...
Mr. Green, it's the first hearing that one, right?
No, I've heard it before.
Yeah.
You know, I bury my body.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But today, listeners, we want to give you a special treat on this program, one of two programs. We want to introduce one of the next generation funeral directors, young people with young minds, new initiative, beautiful insights into the funeral industry. And for that reason, help me to welcome Mr. Terrell Green to the airwaves this morning. Mr. Green, welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having
Yes,
me
man.
this
Good.
morning.
Mr. Green, you better tell me to turn up the mic.
Yeah, man.
Tell him to turn up your voice.
It's a rainy time.
I'll speak louder. Is this better?
You might tell him to turn up your
Right,
voice, man. So Mr. Green, you know, it's always good to find young persons who are interested not only in the funeral industry, but also for the improvement of the funeral industry, because right now what we need more than anything else is improvement to what is being done. So let me ask you, how do you think we can improve service delivery first and foremost in the funeral industry, what we have right now?
Well, I'm big on customer service, so we must start from within. You understand? We must have the proper staff
Right.
to deliver
Right.
the service. Correct?
Correct?
Now, with them knowing what they should know, of course, they are able to transform the information and be transparent.
Yes.
Now, I believe that the staff, whenever a family comes in to a funeral home, we should be as transparent as possible.
Yes.
Understand, educate them about the different packages and the process, because we want this to be smooth and as easy as possible. Correct?
Very, 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 very good. I want it to be as easy. Hold on, by the way, how long have you been doing this, Mr. Green?
I've been doing this since 2020, you know.
So 3 years on.
3 years.
La-
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined and you hear me say Mr. Green and the voice sounds younger,
It's not me.
It's not Errol Green. We have
I'm saying nothing.
we have young Terrell Green, who is a future face of Exodus Funeral Home. We have him on the program this morning. We just want to talk to him a little bit about, you know, happenings in the funeral industry, how he see things, and of course to introduce him to the populace. So you get comfortable with the man from now. So we were talking about customer service, how we can improve service delivery, and how we can do things more effectively.
Right.
And what Mr. Green said, and you heard it, we must have proper trained staff.
Right.
It is the personnel who interact with the public that makes the big difference. So Mr. Green, what sparked, because I've known of children of funeral directors who are not in the business. I've known of young persons who say, boy, the funeral thing enough for them. So what really sparked your interest in becoming a funeral director? Apart from the fact that your parents do it.
Actually working within the industry.
Yeah?
Truth be told, growing up, I didn't have much interest because, you know, funeral, I don't believe anyone has really grown up and want to be a funeral director.
Except me. Except me.
You understand? So after, in 2020, I started to work in the industry, and, it gives a sense of fulfilling to know that you have put a family's heart at comfort. Understood? So it's just the feeling, honestly.
Listeners, I tell you something. You want to see how Mr. Green? Those who are listening, you're gonna need to go onto the YouTube page.
It
to see how Mr. Green.
it says we need more young funeral directors.
See how Mr. Green booming with pride.
You know?
To see how Mr. Green. And by the way, Terrell Green is the first child of Errol and Kamika Green, who are the inspiration behind the Exodus Funeral Home. Those who know Exodus is located Galena, St. Mary, right?
No, Anatobe.
Anatobe, Galena. Anatobe, and also in Kingston
And Portland, Buff
Bay, Portland. And which are the offices you frequent, Young Green?
I'm in Kingston.
He's in Kingston.
Right off Linders Road.
So it's at the corner of Linders and Retirement Road. Right
Russell,
across
Russell
Road, yeah.
Russell Road,
Russell
right.
Road. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right across from the Methodist Church there.
Immediately across, right?
Mr. Green, never see us because we're not a tall man like you.
So,
Right.
so Mr. Green became very interested in the industry in 2020.
Mhm.
Grew up not having interest as most young people, because you don't want to have no interaction with the dead. But since 2020 and you being in the industry, seeing what is happening, being around persons and interacting with family members, is there anything that currently you find intimidating?
Okay. Now, many would think, dealing with the deceased would be intimidating, but actually for me, some family members. You understand?
Family members are going to it.
Trust me. Remember, we're dealing with people that
Right.
are grieving,
Right.
and they deal with their emotions different.
Right.
So being able to, control it's not easy, especially on the funeral day.
Yeah.
Understood? Some of them badness.
Yeah.
Some of them on the calm side, but at the end of the day, with proper training and so forth, we can get the job done.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So listeners, if you are just joining us, the program is Final Decision. For those who are seasoned listeners, this morning we want to bring you a new voice. So by now you might be getting tired of our voice. So we want you to introduce to you the new voice in the person of young Terrell Green, the future face of the Exodus Funeral Home. And he's just here to give us, his spin on the industry, how he finds it. And of course, the aim also is to say to other young persons out there who might be thinking of a career path, here is something that you can think of. And we have a young man, we have other young people, and next week we'll feature somebody else. We have young persons who are doing this, and they find it to be not only satisfying and comforting, but they find it to be very, very relieving. And Mr. Green has been talking to us in relation to, his interaction with funeral planning sessions there at Exodus. And of course, like you, I find that it is the families who tend to be intimidated. you ever had a situation where you have to be the referee?
I have. Trust me. And trust me, it's just... Sometimes I have to call Mr. Green and listen, call the family, deal with it. I don't want to be... rather when a designated family member is dealing with everything. I don't like the separate,
Right.
Trust me. It's
And families, as you listen to young Terrell talks, you'll often hear Mr. Green and I say to you on this program, if you ever have the unfortunate situation of dealing with death in the family, have a family meeting first.
Right.
Have the discussion.
Right.
Have the agreement. Because one, when everybody has different ideas and you come to the funeral home, it is not only putting things in disarray, but in the end it makes your family look bad.
Yeah. Mr. Maitland, you ever notice sometimes you get calls and you believe it's a new business, because
The questions that are asked.
yes, and by interviewing the family, you realize it's the same person they're talking
See, it's
about.
the person that
So sometimes you get
before.
4 or 5 different calls
True.
about the same person.
And everybody have different requests.
Have different requests.
So
Right.
we are gonna go into a break now, listeners. Of course, you know the program is Final Decision. On the other side, we'll continue our discussion with young Terrell Green, the future face of the Exodus Funeral Home.
Won't last forever, won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day.
Drive your dream car when you access a Dream Wheels auto loan from the Manchester Cooperative Credit Union. With amazing rates, 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and quick approval time, your auto loan is just a phone call away. Conditions apply. Call us at 962-0401 or 964-3648 or visit our offices in Mandeville and Christiana for further details. Manchester Cooperative Credit Union, where service exceeds expectation.
The time brought to you by the Manchester Corp Credit Union 1977 Limited Property Loan. Telephone 876-962-0401 is 11:45.
We're your partner in color. Over 30 years strong, serving Jamaica beautifully. Changing lives and leading the revolution with quality products innovated for when you need a superior finish. Edge campaigns are trusted, loved, and used by experts in the business of automotive, industrial, decorative, and furniture. We have the blueprint to help you create, vibe, and live life beautifully. EdgeChem, changing lives 1 gallon at a time.
Big Time Football is at the office on Friday, November 17, and your Big Time sports station, KLAS, will be right there to bring you live coverage. The Reggae Boys will take on Canada in a decider for who goes to the Copa America next year. Join the KLS team as we give you live coverage starting at 6:45. Coverage is sponsored by Tony's Auto, your one-stop shop for all your Isuzu truck parts. Western Sports, the sports people. Palmark Imports Limited, best prices, quality parts. Palmark. SureFit Auto Parts, the right fit for your auto needs. And at the Carpet Store, because you deserve the best.
It will get better. It will get better. Won't last forever. Won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day.
When you hear that sound, you know it is Final Decision.
Will get better.
Of course, it will get better.
Listen to Terrell Green.
Yes,
It's telling us, Mr. Maitland,
it will get better.
it will get better.
Of course, it will get better. Listeners, today we have with us an esteemed young man, Terrell Green from the Exodus Funeral Home. And you hear me say it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'll continue to say it. The future face of Exodus Funeral Home. So get used to the name, get used to the voice, and get to know him. Sharing with us insights on the funeral industry, how he sees things, and you know his perspective on things. So Terrell, for most of us, we have different areas that we specialize in. So for example, I know Mrs. Green, and in interacting with her, Mrs. Green loved the monetary side of things and also the office side of things. That is her thing. She loved when she bring them back to life, quote unquote. Mr. Green, on the other hand, he's into decor. So wherever the grave digging is on the grave decor and the decor of the church, that's Mr. Green. Me, you know, I am caskets. Hearse and caskets, that is me. And I try to ensure that.
And the easy part, Mr. Maitland.
No, which easy part? You have to know it. When persons come and you have to interview the family, you know, to know what their likes and what I
So
try
the
to
man
do.
guy, Mr. Green, pretty vehicle and lovely casket.
It's not just necessarily a pretty vehicle of the casket. You have to ensure that the vehicle and the casket matches who you're dealing with. So, for
Right.
example, if it's an elderly person you're dealing with, and they say it's a simple person, you know what to do.
Right.
If it's an elderly person who has something else, if it's a young person. So, for example, somebody come to me, you know, the man is 80-odd years old, a
Right.
simple church man, and they're going on half glass and Escalade. No, I'm
And
saying to them,
picture
say-
pan casket.
and I said, no. Let us see how best we can memorialize this person. and reflect who he is.
Right.
So that's why we have to specialize in that.
Right.
Mr. Green.
That's how it's supposed to done.
You see, your father now, he thinks like...
Yeah, man. That's right,
Mr.
Mr. Milan. You know, the funeral is supposed to reflect the person's lifestyle.
Definitely.
You know, when you walk in, you say, wow, this is for John Brown.
And that is why, Mr. Green,
You know?
that is why we say to persons, Exodus and Garden of Paradise are not just funeral homes, you know.
We serve family.
We serve family, and what we do is service. You don't just come
Right.
in and pick a package and pay your money and go. We get to know you.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not that we want to pull money to family, Mr. Green, but we are giving them what we think is
Best for them. And as a matter of fact, most of the times, you know, we end up selling them a cheaper package than they were thinking
than
of.
they were thinking of, because sometimes listening even to the family or they speak about their loved one is like you know the person.
Yeah, you go simpler. So you might not reach that level yet, Mr. Green, where you say, all right, then this is definitely, but you might have thoughts. So being in the industry, being there directing funerals and assisting families to plan sessions, what do you think is your area of specialty, or will be your area of specialty down the road?
Okay, so as I said earlier, I've been in the industry since 2020, and I have covered mainly the administrative
Okay.
part of the industry. So helping family to make decisions, I would say, is my specialty for now.
So the customer service is your
Customers
thing
are
right now.
my thing, correct.
Okay.
However, I am, diving into the whole decor thing. You know, Mr. Green, he's a creative, and listen, he'll have his time when him just start send pictures of his work. And
Hey, let me tell you something about Mr. Green. He's a father, you know. Mr. Green is a creative genius, you know.
can't take that away from him.
Hey, sometimes the man do something. Let me share an experience with you all. And listeners, I want to share this experience with you. During COVID, I remember during COVID, when you know, it was graveside settings. And I did the first funeral at Medaris during COVID, and we were in the sun. And I never feel pleased about it. And I said, all right, we need to change things. And Mr. Green came on and we were talking. I said, you know, I'm gonna get a tent. And he said, yeah, man, get the tent. And listeners, I got the tent, and Mr. Green said to me, all right, Mr. Maitland, I'm gonna do the decoration for the tent for you. You see, when I went to Medaris,
Shock.
listen to me now, back drop, tie back. Some people start ask who getting married. So I know, say
At Medaris.
at Medaris. and trust me, what it did, it said to me, because when persons start to come, you have persons attending other funerals, and they left that funeral, came in the tent to take photos and everything, and it said to me, there is something that we have to continue to do differently. And then it started to force other funeral directors now to try to get something similar. But trust me, nobody can be Mr. Green when it comes to the decor and
that's
thing.
his thing.
That's his
Can't
thing.
take it away from him.
And so you say you're going to decor. Listeners, I if you have never seen a funeral that was done by Exodus, go on their social media page, Facebook, IG, go on in the pages and just look at how Exodus does funeral. I tell you, it's a marvel. And that's part of the reason why we have this radio show, Mr. Green. The initiative was born out of a need from our customers, both persons who we serve and persons who are served by other funeral homes. Because the truth is, we can't bury everybody in Jamaica. We know that.
True.
But for those who trust us with their loved ones, we do our best. And one of the things is that individuals started to cry to us because they were being overcharged for some things. They were not aware as to what to do when individuals die. And so we started this program. Guess whose idea again?
Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, man. We started this program just to give the information to Jamaicans what to do. I put it this way, what to do when you don't know what to do. And since we started in June, the program has spun into so many other things because persons started calling us outside of Radio Time to say, talk about this. And it has been of great help to the Jamaican public. Now, I can put it to you now. Exodus is a brand that people know for certain things.
Right.
And by now, you would know that preparing to take over the realms in Exodus down the road is no easy task.
It's a big shoes to fill.
So you're going to have to lift. You're going to have to lift that. How you think down the road and with technology, we can change the dynamism. And this is a question that I never prepared for before. I'm sorry about that. We can change the dynamism in what we do.
Okay, so Fortunately, we are in a technological
That's
era.
right.
Correct. And we are in the industry, and as a business, collaboration is something that we need to do. Understood? So, with collaborating with different tech people,
Yes.
we will most definitely see a way forward. An example, what we're doing now, we're doing live streaming.
Yes.
That's helping people worldwide,
Yes.
saving transportation costs
Yes.
and so forth. Understand? And as time goes by, I'm sure Mr. Green will probably come up with an idea to enhance the funeral industry with technology.
Yeah.
And I have a few things in my book,
Don't
which
tell
I'll
him.
share with you after.
Yeah, don't.
You know, so I believe there is a bright future within the funeral industry in this era.
Lovely.
Mhm.
Lovely. And that is what we really are looking for. Because the dynamism has changed. The paradigm has shifted. Funerals are no longer done the way we are used to in the 80s and 90s. And what persons are asking for, though they're not saying it audibly all the time, is that they want a difference to how their loved ones
Right.
are memorialized and how the final disposition is done. And so the normal thing, the regular day-to-day thing, as we saw it, can be done. We have to have dynamism. And a key to having dynamism is to have young people in the industry. Young people. And there's nothing wrong. And I'm happy that Mr. Green is at the place where he sees that there are times when you need to discuss with the young persons, either Terrell or any of the workers, their thoughts on certain things.
Sure, correct.
Because the truth is, young people are changing the way business is done worldwide. And if we, Mr. Green, who are established in our business, think that, boy, we can do it by ourselves and not include
We're going to fail.
young persons, we are going to fail.
We're going to fail. Remember that they are the future.
Exactly.
And the reason why some people are so confused and frustrated, because they fail to accept them. And they are bringing some great change that you have to realize it.
And the world is moving, you know. The
It
world
is
is moving
moving.
at a fast pace. And that is why we need people like Terrell Green. And I'm happy, Mr. Green, that you pick up that long time, Mrs. Green pick up that long time, Exodus picked up that long time. And you're not only working with, but you're also training young minds.
Mr. Maitland, I get thrown out of church for decor.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
I know everybody.
I
wants
get
to work.
bashed for the vehicle, which is a pretty, all these vehicles across Jamaica are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
When I start that, I come under every fire from other funeral director. Say me I go on like funeral or wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Pastors in church. Say me I go on like a heaven the man I go.
Mhm.
And right now, today,
In this day and age,
in this day and age,
if you ever do a funeral without decor, if you try that and see what happens.
True. Especially at Exodus, you know, man. Because
Try
that's
that.
one of our, you know.
Yeah,
key.
that's a hallmark. Exodus, Exodus is
For decor.
known for decor.
I went to Westmoreland to do a funeral. A young man come to me and say, you know, say me always want to open my funeral home, and when me see the right here, so me have to start our funeral home, and me I tell us that young man start something. I'm saying I do exactly like what I'm saying me do,
But
and it just
what I also want to do with the use of the program, Mr. Green, is that, yes, we do encourage young persons to look at a career in funeral service. But by extension, I want to encourage you. We have a facility in Jamaica where training is done. Get the formal training. We don't want you to start up something and then down the road when the regulations come, they shut down your place. Get the requisite training. And part of the reason why some things happen in businesses is that persons are not properly trained. You will have the idea, you may even have the money to do it, but without the proper training, you're going to fail after a while. So I'm urging you, if you can afford to go overseas, fine. If you can't, there's an affordable place in Jamaica, in the Montego Bay Community College. Please get the requisite training. Adults, if you have young persons in your home who are you know, there, mind-boggling as to what to do. If they have an interest, encourage the interest, support the interest, because what we need in Jamaica today, young professionals who are willing to be trained in the area so that we can have proper service delivery. Mr. Green, Messrs. Green, the funeral industry is a very, very professional industry, you know.
Very professional.
It's an industry that in other places, you know, people, when they say that you're a mortician or you're a funeral director, you know, people see that as something, you know, it's an honorable career to have, you know.
Mr. Maitland, when I started to travel and interact with other funeral directors across the world, I realized the importance and how professional this industry is.
It is. It is just that we have become used to a certain thing, and I'm happy that in these days we are moving away from the norm now. So what we used to think of and see the funeral industry in Jamaica, what was presented to us, we are moving away from that. And persons have begun to see the industry for really what it is. And I want to encourage every young person who has interest in the funeral industry, get the formal training. It has been a good discussion. As per usual, Mr. Green, when the things start getting nice,
I
we are half an hour done.
And Mr. Maitland, trust me, I have to say this before we go. You know, a family called me to do a removal all the way from Portmore. And the family said to me, Mr. Green, I don't know you or whatever, but the deceased person laid down before they die
Exodus.
that anywhere in the world she died, she must go to Exodus.
Definitely.
Why? Because of the service.
It's a service. It's a service. It's a service. And as we wrap up in the last 30 seconds, I'm going to do something that we don't normally do. Normally when we have guests, we allow the guests to say what they have to say, and then we close off. But I'm going to allow Mr. Green, young Mr. Green, to have the final word.
Right.
So what I'm going to do, Mr. Green, Elder Green, what is your final word?
I've just said it.
You just said it. Listeners, you know, as per usual, it will get better because it came to pass. And
Right.
I leave everything now to the future of the funeral industry. Mr. Green, your final word to the listeners. Use your real voice now, man. Nobody get any sentimental.
Good afternoon, everyone, again. I just want to say, final decision. Oh, I did prefer. Oh. I don't know why at the end I'm getting so nervous. But we're in a time where we know that losing a loved one is never easy. And if you or anyone is going through a loss, take it easy. Continue to resonate on the good memories that were created, and this too will pass. Okay?
Thank you very much. That's it for
Yes, sir.
today.
It will get better. Won't last forever. Won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day.
Make XL Auto Parts your first stop for all your automotive